Yeah, well, green is the color for mental health. So when Stu decided to really focus on Buddy Check for Jesse, they started using that green tape as a support towards his family. Stu had a son die by suicide, and so that's how Buddy Check had started, was that these conversations were happening in the dressing room. And so Stu just kind of took that on and said, right, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about mental health, and let's talk about supporting one another. And he noticed during his first talk that kids were taping their stick greens in support of Stu and his family and his kids. And so it's just kind of gone on from there. And so now green is the color for mental health. So but if ever I see somebody wearing green, or a green bracelet or green tape or something, I'm like, yes, an advocate, because that's a sign to us that that they're open to talking about mental health and mental illness and all of that. So that's where Buddy Check came from, was just conversations that he was having with his own players. And then he realized that, well, it might not just need to be his players that need to hear this. So how can we make it so it's more available? So Stu's very connected in the hockey area. He's been a coach for years. And so he started to, put together Buddy Check for Jesse packages. And what used to happen was we worked with BC Hockey, and they helped set up packages that were delivered to teams and coaches. So in there would be tape, there was coaches' notes that the coach could read from, and then BC Hockey really wanted those young players to have this talk. And so they got these packages delivered, and the coach just was given some nice kind of notes. So it's a little less intimidating if you have notes in front of you saying, here's what you could say if you'd like to, and here's a script for you. That makes it easier for people that might be uncomfortable talking about mental health and mental illness. It's still, they're still stigmatized. And so we want coaches to very much understand that Buddy Check for Jesse doesn't necessarily mean at all that you have to be a mental health expert. It just means that you want your kids to be compassionate kids. You want your players to be supportive of one another, and you want your players that are maybe struggling with some type of mental illness, whether it's panic or anxiety or depression or ADHD or whatever the heck is going on. If you're that safe place for them, it just gives them permission to be who they are, to struggle when they need to struggle, and reach out when they need to reach out. So we provide packages to coaches that have exactly that. The notes that you can, an actual script that if you're too nervous to even talk about it, you can just read the script and then look up and say, do you have any questions? And that typically is enough. So it's just being that safe place and opening the conversation that's available. So when Owen got his Buddy Check talk, it was the package that was delivered from BC Hockey to our coach saying, here's what we're doing. We really want to support this Buddy Check initiative. It's to help bring awareness to mental health in sport. Our coach was like, yep, I'm in. And he just gave this incredible talk. He read a bit from the script was provided, but then he also took his own experience and his own life experience and playing with other, players and teammates and different coaching teams, and brought that into the conversation as well. And that really just opened things up for that whole dressing room. It was incredible.